Today, I'm gonna show you how you can wash and ceramic coat your vehicle just like a pro without spending hundreds of dollars using Luminus products. So let's dive right into it. Now, along the way, I'm gonna give you guys some tips on how you can optimize your process and save on chemicals so you can even save more money, but that's not it. If you're watching this during the month of August 2026, hit the House of Rags link down below and get Luminous products at a whopping 25% discount, guys. Don't waste your time because the stocks are limited and once it's gone, it's gone. Now, let me show you the before. So here's my tip when it comes to saving money with wheel and tire chemicals, because those at the end of the month add up. If you're a professional, you know what I'm talking about. Now, even for you, if you're an enthusiast and own a vehicle like this, for example, an European type vehicle that creates a tremendous amount of brake dust, like you saw, you might be washing this constantly. So you may consider saving up money with concentrate. That's right. Luminous, for example, they have their concentrate version of their wheel and tire cleaner, which is called Blaze. Now they do have their ready-to-use version, which is Blaze Direct. This one allows you to dilute anywhere in between 1:3 to 1:10. So you can adjust the ratio according to the condition of the wheel. So if you're doing a maintenance wash, for example, you can dilute at a 1:10 and save a ton of money. This vehicle, for example, it is in bad condition, but I know for sure for a fact that 1:5 ratio will do the job. So you are saving money in the long run. So consider concentrate. Also gallon. If you're using a lot, if you're a professional detailer, you're doing this every day, right? So gallon will be the way to go. Now, let's get some action going here. I'm gonna dilute at a 1:5 ratio for this particular project, and I'm gonna start foaming. First, I'm going to rinse off the wheels, tires, and fender wells just to get rid of the loosen on dirt. So here we go. Foaming action with Blaze. Again, guys, 5:1 ratio. As you can see, it's lifting up the dirt. See here, the brownie. Also, I can see brake dust running off. So it is definitely reacting 1:5 ratio. For this particular project, I feel like it is the perfect ratio. Also in my bucket, I have Luminous Mint. Let me show you the bottle, guys. Here it is, guys. Luminous Mint is a pH neutral shampoo, and the dilution ratio is anywhere in between 1:500 to 1:1000. I find my sweet spot to be at around 1:700. So I have 3 gallons of water in this bucket and a little over half ounce of the mint. Look at the suds, guys. Okay, this will help with lubrication. By the way, guys, Blaze Direct was actually my favorite tire and wheel cleaner in 2025. This is a potent product, guys. Clean the barrels. It is now time to wash the vehicle, and for this particular project, since it rained yesterday and since I'm going to apply a fresh new protection on this paint surface, I'm going to begin by rinsing off the entire vehicle to remove any superficial dust. Then I'm going to follow up with an alkaline pre-wash to remove all the organic contamination. This vehicle has a bunch of 3-steps, road film, it has bug splatter on the front, it has old protection, which is Luminus Eclipse, that I want to get rid of and make sure that this panel is very clean before I apply the new protection. Once I'm done with the alkaline pre-wash, I'm gonna follow up with a contact wash using the pH neutral shampoo from Luminus. Here it is, guys, Luminus L-Prewash for the next step. This is their alkaline shampoo. The dilution ratio for this product is anywhere in between 1:20 to 1:30 when you're using on a foam cannon. I'm gonna do max power 1:20 ratio because this vehicle actually needs. Now, another tip I would like to give it to you in order for you to save money on chemicals is actually a very simple one. Don't fill up your entire foam cannon with water and chemical to cover a vehicle of this size. You're not gonna need it. If you do, don't use it. Don't use it all because overspraying is not gonna help. Okay, so what I typically like to do, back on the days, I used to fill up all the way to 1 liter and then I would have chemical left, or I would use the entire thing up and waste of money. Now, I just put enough. With my experience, I've learned that anywhere in between 500 to 700 ml is enough to cover a vehicle of this size. Now, it will depend on the pressure washer you're using as well. But try to do that, guys. You're gonna save money. If you're not a professional, who knows when you're gonna need to use this again, right? So you don't want this sitting in this reservoir for an extended period of time. And again, you're gonna save money. Okay, so I have 600 ml of water. I don't know if you can see it. And then I'm gonna add 30 ml of the L-Prewash and then start foaming it. Now I'm gonna let it dwell for about 3 minutes and then rinse it off. We're good to go now. I'm gonna rinse off this vehicle and then move on to the next process, which is the contact wash. Here it is again, mint from Luminus pH neutral shampoo. I'm gonna use this product for the contact wash. The dilution ratio that I like to use, the sweet spot for me is 1 to 700. You can use all the way up to 1 to 1000. but 700 for me is my sweet spot. I have the same amount of water on my wash bucket that I had on the wheel bucket, which is 3 gallons. So at a 1:700 ratio, I need just a little over half an ounce, like 0.55. So I'm gonna be adding that amount into the bucket and begin the contact wash process. Now, you might be asking, aren't you going to foam the vehicle to do your contact wash? And the answer is no, because we did a pre-wash with L-Prewash and we already passed that process. You don't have to keep foaming and you have lubrication enough in your bucket to finish off this vehicle safely. Okay, so that's another tip for you to save some cash. All right, guys, once again, Katiba meets Luminus for this particular project. As you can see, I'm using my Katiba wash bucket, which I absolutely love. Now let's create some suds. I already added mint. Here we go. Check this out, guys. Pretty nice, right? Here we go. Contact wash, ladies and gents. Top to bottom, every time, guys. Ooh, it just glides very nicely. Some people like the smell of mint, some don't. I do. Now, as far as water and shampoo in the wash bucket, to me, I find 3 gallons to be plenty. Sometimes a little less, but not much more less than that because I use a grit guard that it's pretty high. So if I put much less, then eventually water will be sitting underneath the grit guard and I'm not gonna have access to clean my wash pad. So 3 gallons. All right, so the vehicle is now washed and I was going to do a water behavior test before I dry off the vehicle, but I decided that I'm gonna dry off the vehicle, then I'm gonna apply the protection on this door panel, and then I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison. I think that's better. Here we are at the final stretch. Now the vehicle is clean and ready for some protection. And here is the star of today's episode. Luminus LM Graphene SP Pro. This is a graphene ceramic spray coating. Now they call this as a spray coating, but there's 2 ways that you can use this product. You can also use with an applicator that comes with it. So let me show you guys. Here's the applicator, dropper, attachment to the bottle, a sprayer. Now here is the bottle. As the name says, this is a graphene-based coating which gives a high-strength protective layer. Now the factory claims 6 months of protection, but to be honest, Luminus always under-promise. I can confidently say that you can probably stretch this to anywhere between 9 months to even a year. Of course, depending on many conditions. Now, this to me is like the LM Graphene 2.0 on steroids. The water contact angle on this bad boy is 110 degrees, which is the same as most professional ceramic coatings. Ultra slick, self-cleaning properties on this coating is just incredible. The glossiness and the saturation is just at another level. You're gonna love this product. Easy to apply. With this bottle, you can probably do anywhere in between 5 to 10 applications depending on the size of your vehicle. So that's why this product fits today's episode, which is to efficiently and cost effectively wash and protect your vehicle. Now, I'm going to apply this product on this door panel right here. Then we'll do a side-by-side comparison so you can really see the difference. So today I'm going to be applying on this vehicle as a sprayer. So I have attached the sprayer onto the bottle. Now it is graphene based, so you have to make sure that you shake it very, very, very well before you start using it, okay? Now, as far as leveling and buffing towel goes, I'm going to be using these two right here. These are from DIY Detail. This is called the Level 1, I believe. And this other one, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to use this for leveling and this for the final buff. You can also layer this product, okay? But today's episode, I'm just going to apply one layer and then we'll do a water behavior test. So here we go. Shake it very well. It has this lock right here, so you just move this sideways like this and you have officially unlocked. This product is so sleek, guys. Second towel, final buff. There you have it. That's all you have to do, guys. I'm gonna let it cure for about 30 minutes or so, and then we'll come back and do a water behavior test. In the meantime, I'm gonna start protecting the rest of the vehicle. Final buff. Final buff. If you're a beginner, I would suggest doing smaller sections just in case. Now, if you create a high spot, which is sort of like difficult, honestly, but if you do, you can spray onto the affected area and then level it again. It will disappear. Unless it's been sitting there for a while, then you're probably gonna have to polish the vehicle or the section. Very easy to apply, guys. Very, very easy. Spray on, level it, and buff it. And the last panel before we do the water behavior test on the driver's side door. It is now time to do a side-by-side comparison, but keep in mind that I have just applied this coating. It has been only 30 minutes. Typically, you want to let it cure for at least 24 hours, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I know that you cannot wash the vehicle for 7 days. That's what Luminus recommend. So you might not see the same performance as you would if we did this 24 hours later, okay? But here we go, guys. As a reminder, right side rear door panel is where we coated, and driver door panel is where we have not coated. Check this out, guys. Nothing sticks. Look at that. Unbelievable. And it's not even cured. Look at the water just running off. Look at those beads, guys. Let me get closer. Driver door. Quite a difference. Slowly sheets off the panel. Time for the final touch, which is to dress the tires, and for that I'm going to be using Onix from Luminus. This is a water-based tire dressing. All right, guys, so that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, comments, and feedbacks, feel free to drop them down below. Also, don't forget that you can get 25% off on all Luminus products if you're watching this during the month of August of 2026. Crazy promotion, guys. Stocks are limited. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, act fast. Link to the House of Rags is down below in my description box. Also, if you enjoy watching content like this, please consider liking and subscribing to support the channel. I will really appreciate if you can do that for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.